Very good evening, students. Welcome to video class. I hope you all are fine. Right. All of you stay home, stay safe, learn well. Okay. Students, we are in the chapter the living organisms, characteristics and habitats. Right. Students, in previous class we learnt what is habitat and types of habitat and biotic and abiotic components, right? Okay, so habitat means the place where organisms live is called habitat. Okay, habitat is a dwelling place or a home. Okay, the habitat provides food, water, air, shelter and other needs to organisms. Okay, several kinds of plants and animals live in the same habitat, right? Okay, the plants and animals that live on land are said to live in terrestrial habitats. Okay, some examples of terrestrial habitats are forest, grassland, desert, coastal and mountain regions. Okay, on the other hand, the habitats of plants and animals that live in water are called aquatic habitats. Okay, lakes, rivers and oceans are some examples of aquatic habitats. Okay, there are large variations among terrestrial habitats like forest, grassland, desert, coastal and mountain regions located in different parts of our world. Okay, so the organisms, both plants and animals living in the habitat are its biotic components. Okay, the non-living things such as rocks, soil, air and water in the habitat are its abiotic components. Okay, in this class we are going to know different types of habitats. Okay, so we already know two types of habitats are there. Okay, one is terrestrial habitat, another one is aquatic habitat. Okay, now we are going to know some terrestrial habitats. Okay, so examples for terrestrial habitats are forest, grassland, desert, coastal and mountain regions. Your first example for terrestrial habitats are deserts. Okay, we discussed the abiotic factors of a desert and the adaptations in camels, right? What about other animals and plants that are found in deserts? Do they have the same kind of adaptations? There are desert animals like rats and snakes, okay, which do not have long legs that a camel has. Okay, to stay away from the intense heat during the day, they stay in the burrows deep in the sand. Okay, all of you see here in this picture. Okay, these animals come out only during the night time. Okay, when it is cooler, and all of you see here in this picture. Okay, some typical plants that grow in a desert. Okay, how are these adapted to the desert? These desert plants lose very little water through transpiration. Okay, so transpiration means water comes out of leaves in the form of vapor by a process called transpiration. The leaves in desert plants are either absent or very small, or they are in the form of spines. Okay, as like in cactus. Okay, cactus is also a desert plant, right? Okay, this helps in reducing loss of water from the leaves through transpiration. Okay, the leaf like structure you see in a cactus is in fact its stem. Okay, the photosynthesis, okay, in these plants is usually carried out by the stems. Okay, this stem is also covered with a thick waxy layer, okay, which helps to retain water in the tissues of cacti. Most desert plants have roots that go very deep into the soil for absorbing water. Okay, So these kind of adaptations, okay, that plants and animals adopted in desert habitats, okay. Next terrestrial habitat is mountain regions, okay, mountains. These habitats are normally very cold and windy, okay. In some areas snowfall may take place in winters. There is a large variety of plants and animals living in the mountain regions. Students, have you seen the kind of trees shown in this picture? If you live in a mountain region or have visited one, you may have seen a large number of such trees, okay? But have you ever noticed such trees naturally growing in other regions? Okay. How are these trees adapted to the conditions prevailing in their habitat? These trees are normally cone shaped or in conical shape, right? And have sloping branches. Okay. The leaves of some of these trees are needle like. This helps the rainwater and snow to slide off easily. Okay. There could be trees with shapes very different from these that are also present on mountains. They may have different kinds of adaptations to survive on the mountains. Okay. And animals living in the mountain region are also adapted to the conditions there. Okay. They have thick skin or fur to protect them from cold. Okay, for example, yak. Okay, yaks have long hair to keep them warm. Okay, snow leopard. Okay, snow leopard have thick fur on its body, including feet and toes. Okay, this protects its feet from the cold when it walks on the snow. The mountain goat has strong hooves for running up the rocky slopes of the mountains. As we go up in the mountainous regions, the surroundings change and we see different kinds of adaptations at different heights. Okay. So students, this is all about adaptation of animals and plants in mountain regions. Okay. Students, next terrestrial habitat is grasslands. Okay. A lion lives in a forest or a grassland and is a strong animal that can hunt and kill animals like deer. Right? It is light brown in color. Okay. All of you look at the picture of a lion and the deer. Okay. How are the eyes placed in the face for these two animals? Are they in the front or on the side of the face? Lions have long claws in their front legs that can be withdrawn inside the toes. Do the features of a lion help it in any way to survive? And its light brown color helps it to hide in dry grasslands when it hunts for prey, right? Okay, the eyes in front of the face allows it to have a correct idea about the location of its prey. Okay, so a deer is another animal that lives in the forests and grasslands. Okay, it has strong teeth for chewing hard plant stems of the forest. A deer needs to know about the presence of predators. Okay, so animals like lion that make it their prey. Okay, in order to turn away from them and not become their prey. So it has long ears to hear movement of predators. The eyes on the side of its head allow it to look in all directions for danger. The speed of the deer helps them to run away from the predators. There are many other features of a lion and a deer or other animals and plants that help them to survive in their habitats. Okay, so students, this is all about terrestrial habitats. Okay, students, next we are going to know some aquatic habitats. Okay, So we know what is aquatic habitat, right? The habitats of plants and animals that live in water are called aquatic habitats, right? Lakes, rivers, and oceans are some examples of aquatic habitats. Here in aquatic habitats, ocean, okay, ocean is also a aquatic habitat, right? So first fishes, okay, fishes are aquatic animals, right? We already discussed how fish are adapted to live in the sea, and many other sea animals have streamlined bodies to help them to move easily in water, right? Okay, so there are some other sea animals like squids and octopus, okay, which do not have this streamlined shape. They stay deeper in the ocean near the seabed and catch any prey that moves towards them. However, when they move in water, they make their body shapes streamlined. These animals have gills to help them use oxygen dissolved in water. Okay. There are some sea animals like dolphins and whales that do not have gills. They breathe in air through nostrils or blowholes that are located on the upper parts of their heads. This allows them to breathe in air when they swim near the surface of water. They can stay inside the water for a long time without breathing. They come out to the surface from time to time to breathe in air. Okay, did you ever see this interesting activity of dolphins in television program or films on ocean life? And next aquatic habitats are ponds and lakes. Okay, have you seen plants growing in ponds, lakes, rivers, and even some drains? Give a visit to a nearby ponds if possible, okay, and try to observe the kinds of plants that are seen there, okay. Observe the leaves, stem, and roots of these plants. So some of these plants have their roots fixed in the soil below the water. In terrestrial plants, roots normally play a very important role in the absorption of nutrients and water from the soil, right? However, in aquatic plants, roots are much reduced in size and their main function is to hold the plant in place. Okay, the stem of these plants are long, hollow, and light. The stems grow up to the surface of water while the leaves and flowers float on the surface of water. Okay. And some aquatic plants are submerged in water. All parts of such plants are underwater. And some of these plants have narrow and thin ribbon like leaves. These can bend in the flowing water. In some submerged plants, leaves are often highly divided, through which water can easily flow without damaging them. So frogs usually live in ponds, right? Okay, so frogs can stay both inside the water as well as move on land because it is a amphibian, right? They have strong back legs that help them in leaping and catching their prey. Okay, so they have webbed feet which help them swim in water. Okay, so here we have discussed only a few common animals and plants compared to the wide variety that live in different habitats. Okay, so students, in this class we learned different kinds of habitats, terrestrial habitats and aquatic habitats, right? If you have any doubt, ask in online session. All of you should follow given worksheet. Thank you, students.